Good afternoon once again. So I would like to say thank you to all that have joined for allowing your weekend to be used mindfully. So I'll say thank you very much. So for today's class, I would like to welcome Mr. Monikose, who will be our facilitator for today. So please, I wish we can listen attentively and jot everything once you jot down. Best of luck to us all in our exam on Tuesday and Wednesday. Over to you, sir.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the class today. I'm trying to share my. Okay, apologies. I'm trying to share my screen now. Okay, so the session today is on digital financial services for agency banking. I believe I'm right. I'll be relying on the support of Mr. Israel to be able to deliver this session for us. Okay. I'm trying to share in such a way that I can see my notes because I have some notes, but I think I'm getting a bit of challenge with my slide here. With them.
Okay, so what if I share the slide, then use your note over your end?
Okay. I'm just I'm trying to see. Trying to see what works. Okay. I don't know. I think I will just have to use it like that. Okay, everyone. Sorry about that. Let's. Okay, I'm seeing somebody said the sound is low. Is it from? Please, maybe you should check from your end. Can everyone hear me clearly? Can you?
Yes, I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me?
you, sir.
You can hear you, sir.
Oh, okay. Because I saw in the notes somebody said that they couldn't hear me. So. All right, let's get started. We're looking at digital financial services. Just a little brief about myself, and then the please can you check on your end? Can you check on your end? I'm seeing another person is saying the sound is low, but this is it's the highest here from my end. So you might need to check yourself. I see Salim was the one that first said it's low. Now Stella is saying it's low also. Please check and let's know. All right. So the overview. So we're looking at digital financial services. Um, for for a starter, can I ask in the chat area, can I ask us our your understanding of what we're talking about today? Please, it's going to also help us because if you look at the material is very wide. So I'd like to know your understanding where you are and also where you might have challenges. I think that's where we should start. Um, Please so I'm here in the chat area and I would really like to know your understanding of the course and also uh, some of the areas where you have challenges, so that as we move on in the material, I can know where to lay more emphasis. I can know where everyone is comfortable with. That means I can easily run through those ones and then focus more on the area where there seem to be a lot of a bit of challenging. Does this look like a plan that we can all subscribe to? Hello, guys. I need a response. Either you're responding by voice or you're putting something in the chat area. That's what makes this a learning.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I don't know. To me, I would have suggested that we go ahead with the revision and what you have in mind doing. Because where me I be having challenge might not be where A is also having. So
It's
you
okay.
having a thorough touch can
It's okay.
cover. Yeah.
I understand you, Stella. It's okay. You can just share your own. Let everybody share their own. It doesn't still affect what we will still do. I'm just saying that if we have that, it will be a guide to know where to focus more attention on. It's not to exclude anyone, it's to have a better understanding of where everyone is. Okay, so but if you insist, I mean it's okay. All right, so we're looking at the overview. So we said digital banking is reshaping financial services, and that is true. It is largely doing that, and technology is the enabler for this financial disruption that is happening. And so this transformation also extends to agency banking, where digital solutions empower agents to deliver banking services to underserved population. Okay, so there is something that that I would usually say to my banking audience learner is that one of the things is I would always say that there, if you look at the way the traditional banks are being structured, if they are not moving or evolving with time, that the banks have no future, but there is a massive future for banking services. And agency banking is one of such that have proven that there's a massive future for banking services. Okay, so the learning outcome here serves as an indicator of the knowledge, skills, and competency that is acquired in the course of learning. So it is my hope that you'll be well equipped to contribute to the successful implementation and operation of digital financial services within the agency banking model. Okay, so definition. Digital banking is a transformative shift in the financial services industry. And the concept involves leveraging innovation, such as artificial intelligence, such as blockchain technology, and even machine learning to enhance customer experience, to streamline processes, and improve security. So innovation in digital banking continually evolves. It's something that keeps evolving and shaping the future landscape of financial services through technological advancement and customer-centric solutions. Because at the heart of digital banking is actually customer centricity, customer experience. Okay, so having defined digital banking as a transformative shift in the way banking services is being delivered, then we can now move on to talk about what are the key concepts of digital banking. What are the key concepts of digital banking? And that's important. And here on the screen, you will see that I've highlighted about 5 key concepts of digital banking. And the first one being digital banking platforms. Okay, digital banking platforms. So this really involves using digital means to deliver banking services. One of such will be either online banking, mobile banking, which is assessing and managing financial transactions through digital platforms, right? So your phone, the USSD, which does not require a smartphone to do, which requires just a mobile phone. And the USSD is the usage of text based. Somebody asking a question.
Sorry, the person just joined in or didn't mute himself. Sorry for disturbance, sir.
Yeah, please help us mute them. Thank you.
I've done that, sir.
Okay, so I was saying the USSD is a text-based platform, ordinary mobile phone, which is in our local Nigerian language, we call it they call it, I think, so some people call it the palasa phone. You know, all these phones that have nothing much to it, just your regular mobile phone, and you can also still carry out banking transactions through that platform. And one of such, we see that there are several banks that have their different USSD code. That's what it's called. So I know there are banks that are, I think, 901 star 901 hash. There is *7. Different banks have different codes. So that's an example of a mobile banking that anyone can also go on. And part of the mobile banking these days is also banks having what we call the bank apps, the bank application, so that you can conduct different banking services over your smartphone. And then also we have the digital payment systems. Under the digital payment system, that's where we have such example as a digital wallet. Okay, so for instance, you have an application maybe from even an investment from an investment bank, an asset management company, as their application, and on the application they have a wallet. And what is the wallet? The wallet is more like a holding place, a temporary holding place where you can keep money for the transactions that you would like to carry out on that platform. So, for example, I have some, applications like that where I move money from my regular bank account and move money into my wallet in the particular application that I am using. And the interesting thing is some of these are data wallet now. The amazing thing is that some of them even they give you interest. I mean, while your money is there before you use it. So you have such examples. And also you find out that not just only financial services providers have such a provision for digital wallet. If you check some of these also food vendors that we know, a lot of them that have application, they also have a provision of a digital wallet where you move money from your bank account into the wallet on the application of the food vendor, so that anytime you need to make an order, you don't have to now use your card to pay. You already have money in your wallet, and it just automatically, takes out the money for the transaction that you are carrying out. Then the second key component here is security and compliance, and that's a very, very important thing. Security, which is very critical when we talk about data banking, because people need to be, to have the confidence that their money is safe, that their identity is safe, that everything that represents them is safe, and by extension, that their money and whoever they are is safe. Okay, so security is important. So, and that's why cybersecurity and risk management is a very, very fundamental element of digital banking. Okay, protecting digital transactions from fraud and cyber threats, because there are a lot of different kinds of cyber threats and attacks. And that's why, as a banker, you don't need to be a cybersecurity expert. It's the responsibility of everyone to understand the basics and the importance of cybersecurity to the banking business. And also now talking about compliance, which is regulatory compliance in this sense, to ensure that the banking regulations and compliance, we really keep up to them. Example of such is the anti-money laundering, the know your customer, and the data privacy law. And I can tell you that the data privacy law has come to stay since 2023, when the Nigerian Data Protection, what used to be the Protection Act, then was passed by the then president. So now we have the Nigerian Data Protection Law that places a lot of responsibility on both the banks and also the customer, but especially the service provider, to keep their customers safe. Then the third component of digital banking is customer experience and digital engagement. Now, because I can tell you for free that the difference between your bank and another bank is not necessarily the type of product that you are offering, because most times, if not all of the time, the services you're providing are the same thing, because they are all regulated. Because the bank is probably the most regulated sector in Nigeria. And so what makes a difference between you and the other bank is the experience that your customer gets. And these days, part of the experience of the customer as they interact with your bank is the user experience, which is a function of the design, your what we call the UI UX design. That is the user interface / user experience design. How easy it is for a customer to be able to interact with your bank app. Some of the applications, I mean, the application of some banks are very, very stressful to some customers, and that's an experience, and it's not an experience that the customer wants to enjoy. And also, not just only on your applications, but also on your website. When a customer gets to the website of the bank, how easy it is for them to navigate around your website to be able to get what they want. Is it so cumbersome they got to click like 3-4 times before they get somewhere? Now that's an experience, and banks must continuously work towards that. And also, and the idea or the essence of a great experience for a customer is for them to create a seamless interaction for the customer. And another component of the customer experience and digital engagement is digital marketing. How does the bank engage with their customer through online campaign and digital banking promotion? So one of the things that you would notice, if you have seen now, that quite a few of the banks are transitioning away from just being a bank that only provides a service. They're beginning to move into providing an experience by creating a community. Okay, so that means a bank is creating a community, and with the community, you're building loyalty. That way, it becomes even easier for the bank to cross-sell a customer. So digital engagement is a powerful tool to do a lot of cross-selling, because when customers believe that they are part of a community, they are part of a community, it's not just a bank. They're not just seeing you as a bank that only wants to take from them. They see that banks that are offering subscription products. That means you're part of this community. You bank with us, and because you bank with us, these are some of the rewards you can enjoy. There are banks who now offer you on your card a card that allows you to access airport lounges in more than 500 airports around the world as a member of that community in the bank. So that's creating an experience. So you get into an airport, you don't have to pay for a lounge. You can get a premium service. So you're not waiting where everybody is waiting. While you're waiting for your flight, you can be in a lounge because you are part of the community of a bank. So it gives you access to the lounge and several other experiences that the customer can have. And then the fourth key component here that I want to talk about is the open banking and financial ecosystem. Now, the open banking is a phenomenon that really that powered what we're enjoying today as digital banking, and it's leveraged largely on what we call the API technology. That means we talk about the programming interface that the bank uses for the experience, and that gives you that is what makes it easy for the bank to be able to interact with a third party entity, whether a bank, whether another financial institution, whether other service provider. So they're able to do that through the programming interface. And okay, so an example of that readily comes to mind for me is you are trying to, for instance, make a transaction between your maybe your bank and another bank, because they're different entities. So it's the application programming interface that allows you to be able to interact. So you make a transfer from your mobile app or from your from the website of the bank, and you are trying to move cash into another bank. Now, what makes that easy is what is called the application programming interface. And I can tell you that it's not a technology that is new. It is the same technology. It's been existing for a very long time. It's that same technology that makes it easy for you back in the days, long before digital banking, back in the days where you can send an email from a Yahoo to a Hotmail. Because if you see, the Yahoo is a different entity. The owners of Hotmail or Gmail are all different companies. But then when you send an email from Gmail, the Yahoo can receive it. So it is still the same concept of application programming interface that makes it easy for third-party financial services provider to be able to render better services. So the literal example of that for you is these days, you want to buy your electricity token. You don't need to go to anywhere. Just grab your mobile phone and go to the application of the electricity vending company. So what do? You put it there, and then they do what? Immediately you get a message from your bank. Your bank sends you the OTP, which is the one-time password, to confirm that you are the one making that transaction. And so you see, they give you also a time limit for that one-time password to expire. And so that means when you put the password in it, you are asking your bank to honor that transaction. So what makes that communication between that vending company, right, your bank, and the payment platform for them to be able to interact within themselves is what is called the API. And it makes it very interesting. And that's why it's become an ecosystem where a lot of players are also in that space because they can all communicate with themselves. And so it has even made product development and product design very easy because there's communication. Then the last key component here that I will be looking at is the advanced technologies in banking. And this has to do with the use of advanced technology to deliver a seamless banking experience. And one of such is artificial intelligence and data analytics. Okay, so, and one of the things it does for us is it enhances our fraud detection. So what does artificial intelligence, or how does artificial intelligence enhance fraud detection? Now, one thing that AI does is a customer of the bank, usually, because as human beings, whether you are aware of it or not, we are all creations of habits. And so our habits create pattern. And so when a customer interacts with the bank, they have a particular pattern in terms of their transaction interaction. So when we have deployed artificial intelligence and there is an unusual movement over a customer's account, the artificial intelligence will raise a flag. And that flag, it will be raised. It might not be for a long time, maybe for 30 minutes, at the most 1 hour, is so that we can allow human intervention. That means if they're seeing a strange movement, and I experienced this some time ago, a while ago, I was somewhere in East Africa, and I was using my bank card and all of that. And after about 2 transactions, I could not continue with my transaction, and it kept declining, and I was worried. And because I knew that I had money there, so I expected the transaction to go through, but it wasn't going through. So I immediately sent an email, because that's all I could do. Sent an email to my bank to say, oh, what's happening? and that I'm in so place, and I don't know, I'm not able to even pay for my hotel. I mean, I will be left stranded here. And the next thing I had, an email came back, not too long, in a very reasonable length of time. I got a response from my bank that says, "Oh, we didn't know. We saw an unusual movement, and the system alerted us, and so we had to put a temporary hold on your account so that if you are being defrauded, at least it won't be more than that minimal first 2 or 3 transactions that are happening over your account." And I was happy. I sent them a response to say, "Oh, it's me. I'm the one here. Please allow me to continue to be able to access my account." So that's something that AI will do in enhanced fraud detection, because when it sees an unusual movement, what it does is to quickly alert the what is it called, the system, to be able to get a human intervention. And then also you're looking at emerging technology. In part of those ones are the use of chatbots and what have you. So that's that about the key. That's that about the key concepts of data banking. Then the core concepts of data banking also is so data transformation and innovation, customer-centric services, security and compliance, and financial inclusion and future trends. So for the purpose of this, it's just reduced into these 4: data transformation, that is technology integration, shifting from traditional banking to digital. Then fintech and automation is the second example there, using AI and automated system for better efficiency. Customer-centric services experience, just like I mentioned earlier on, e-banking and mobile banking, and also digital payments. And then financial inclusion and future trends. These are some of the core concepts of the data banking. Okay. So here we're looking at the evolution of financial services. I feel that for the evolution, it's something you can read up on your own. And if you look at mobile money services, really started in Africa in 2007 in Kenya by a company known as Safaricom when they introduced M-Pesa, mobile Pesa, in 2007. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the role of agents in driving financial inclusion, because now we're looking at agency banking, and so and this is it. So agents, they serve as intermediaries between financial institutions and the unbanked population. And so agents, some banks have it. I know that the Access Bank have what they call closer, that's CLOSA, and then First Bank also have First Money. So these are some examples of agent banks where they can provide financial services to the unbanked population, especially in areas where a bank presence is not available, in the rural areas, in the interlands and what have you. And so they're able to provide access to financial services in the rural areas that we have. And so the key functions of agent banks is to be able to onboard customers, open new accounts for customers, and also loan disbursement and repayment collection. Cash in and cash out transactions are part of the team, bill payments and transfers, and to an extent also some financial literacy and support program they're able to provide. So, and I mean, just a few examples here with the SANEF, which was an initiative of both the central bank, the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System (NIBS), and also Deposit Money Bank. And their objective then was to deploy 500,000 agents to provide banking services in rural area. However, I can tell you that today they have they've been able to reach about 1.3 million. Been able to reach about 1.3 million agents as of 2023, and this was the roles of the agent to open accounts for customers and enable cash withdrawal and deposit, and also facilitate fund transfer. Another example is Paga, which is mobile money. It was to provide money services for financial inclusion. Okay, acting as a mobile money agent for cash in and cash out. Then also we have what used to be formerly known as Team App. They are now known as Money Point. They are also so the objective was to use digital solutions to expand financial access, supporting small businesses with digital payment, and providing POS and mobile banking services for customers of the bank, and then also the Axiom Microfinance Bank. So what are some of the impacts of agents on financial inclusion? Okay, so the first one is increased access to banking services in underserved areas. And we have seen that has happened with the introduction of agency banking. Now more people who would naturally not be in a deposit money bank banking hall now have access to banking services through agent banks. And you know, agent banks, I mean, are just those agents. Mostly you find people who already have the infrastructure. They have a shop, they have traffic. Some of them are already maybe a business center, a photocopying center, you know, an internet cafe back in the days. So they already have foot traffic, so it's a good thing for business. And people know, and they're able to provide access to banking services to the underserved. And so by extension, they have reduced the barrier to financial participation. More people through agent banking now have access to owning a bank account, and also enhance economic growth through small business support. So part of this is that they're able to very small business people are able to get soft loans, get monies that they can use for their business while they are paying back, you know, in a very convenient way for them. Then also improve financial literacy, and also in really improving digital adoption. And that's one of the biggest advantages of agency banking is the adoption of the digital platforms. Okay, so again, some challenges of agency banking. So challenges faced by digital financial services agents is limited liquidity for transactions. Yeah, because they're not also, they do not have I would say they don't have that type of money that is, you know, if a customer wants to get a really beyond a particular amount of money, they're not able to provide them with that. So it can be a challenge, limited liquidity, And also another challenge is fraud and cybersecurity risk. And part of the experiences, some of the experiences that we have had and seen is people going to use a POS, and they're making a fake transfer to the POS agent, and the POS agent had already, had given them money, and then realizing after the fraudster had left that what they got was a fake alert. So that happened for a while until also these operators now also started to look for ways to be able to confirm if the money has really hit into their account. So that happened for a while. And so there's also the risk. And also, even for the customer, some unscrupulous agents also defraud the customer. When you use your bank, you use your card, they steal the card information and have a way of cloning the card, and they use it to defraud the customer over time, because you find out that you made a transaction somewhere at a POS agent, and much later in the evening, maybe at night, you're sleeping, and then all you just keep hearing is you're receiving debit alert on your account, because of your exposure at the POS agent. So that is also a challenge. So the other one is the customer trust and awareness issue. So these experiences also heighten the trust for customers. And then also the issue of regulatory compliance. And that is also largely on the banks, because these agents, they work for the bank. Okay. All right. So looking at digital financial services, the impact on customers, banking operation, revenue model, and regulatory framework. All right, so we have talked about some of the role of technologies and its objective, artificial intelligence. We've looked at some of these. I will just scroll on, but if you have questions, please let me can note it down so that when we take questions, we can. So the impact of digitalization on customer preferences. Okay, so personalized banking, AI-driven recommendations, and targeted services. So this is one huge impact of digitalization of banking services, to be able to now give the bank and especially I would say especially relationship officers and what have you, to give them an understanding of being able to give a bespoke service to customers through AI-driven recommendations. So through the interaction of customers of the bank, you can actually recommend personalized services to the customer that meet their needs. So you are not just selling and trying to sell everything to a customer, but because of AI, one of such examples is what's called predictive analytics. Gives you an idea of what this customer would be having need of based on what they have used before, based on their interaction, based on their history, based on so many things that you have through their KYC that you have, and all of the information you have about them. AI can now give you a personalized list or series of products and services to be able to sell to your specific customers. The another one is convenience and accessibility. That is, we all know that right now, mobile banking, 24/7 access, and what have you. Then security and trust. We talked about fraud detection and also biometrics. So you have the what we call the MFA, the multi-factor authentication, where you're using not only you're using facial recognition, you're using your thumbprint. In some advanced places now, they're using not just facial recognition, they're even using their what you call now the retina, their eyes, something really specific, and also encryption, that is end-to-end encryption, such that the transaction is not exposed to a third party that should not have access to it. Then financial inclusion, services for the underbanked and the unbanked. Then also, we also have process automation, so that we have a lot of routine roles or functions that usually happen in the bank. And right now, it's been automated. You have AI chatbots. As soon as you open into the website, you see the chatbot pops up and is asking you, how can we help you today? And the artificial intelligence can help you onto a particular point. And when it gets to the point where it knows that it requires human intervention, it will ask you to hold on. It will pass you on to an agent that will be able to attend to you. And also automated compliance check, because sometimes even the compliance guys are, so busy with other tasks or some compliance issues that will probably expire. So the automation helps you to know. It pops it up, maybe some 24 hours, 48 hours, depending on what you programmed into it. It gives you a reminder, because it has checked and has seen that you might be running foul of the law because of the particular regulatory document that you need to renew. Then also operational efficiency. This involves cloud-based infrastructure, and it reduces physical branches. Now, cloud-based infrastructure is one of the biggest, I would say, one of the biggest positives for the bank, such that the bank does not need to have a whole building as their server center. Back in the days, you have a whole building where all your physical servers are and data center. So quite right now, a lot of those are cloud-based infrastructure, and by extension, it reduces the need for physical branches, because now the technology is making sure that customers can do whatever they need to do on their mobile phone, on their laptop, and so it also reduces the cost for the bank, and it makes the bank a lot more agile. The risk management, predictive analytics for fraud prevention and credit scoring. That's something that it's very, it's an impact of it. Then omni-channel experience. Now, the omni-channel experience, I feel, is what not many banks have really have been able to do well in that regard. Not many banks have the omni-channel experience. I know the omni-channel experience is a seamless customer experience across platforms. So what that means is, to have an omni-channel experience is for a customer to either start a transaction offline and come back to complete it online without losing track of wherever they are in the life cycle of the transaction. So what do I mean? You come into before you come into the bank, maybe you were completing a particular form online, and you've gotten to maybe 50, 60, 70% completion. And then you leave it and go about your day, and then find yourself around the vicinity of your bank. And then you walk into, so let me just complete this transaction. You should be able to continue from where you stopped on your mobile app, on the online experience. But if you have to start all over and then the customer service person or whoever is attending to you now has to give you a form to start all over again, that bank does not have an omnichannel experience in place. So omnichannel must be a seamless customer experience across platforms. Another impact of digitalization on revenue model here is on revenue model is that it has created new revenue streams for the bank, right? Digital lending, subscription-based financial services. So these are some of the places where banks are also making some bit of revenue right now, is to be able to lend digitally. These days, if you have experience, for instance, for me, as also a customer of the bank, I get text messages at least 2 to 3 times every week that I'm qualified to take, loan, unsecured loan, and say, I can get loan for as much as this, I can get this, and on unsecured loans. Then also the subscription-based financial services. So I'll give you an example of that. So every time you want to make a transaction on a third-party platform, for instance, we gave an example of the power vending, what is it called, application, where a power vendor uses an app to deliver their service. And so when you click that you want to buy 10,000 naira, for instance, a watt of electricity unit, what it does is immediately there is a communication between the vendor and the vendor's payment service provider. So maybe in this case, we can say Paystack or Flutterwave, and they come in between you and so it is the Paystack, which is a third-party payment service provider, that comes up to make the request to your bank that this customer wants to make this transaction. And what the bank is doing is that the bank has granted a limited access to the payment platform known as Paystack. Hello, somebody was saying something. Is that
No, sir. Go on, sir.
okay? So what has happened is that your bank has now granted a limited access to the payment service provider known as Paystack for it to be able to access limited information about you to be able to complete that transaction. So the access granted by your bank to the payment entity, which is a fintech provider, by allowing the fintech provider to access data, the fintech provider is going to be paying the bank a subscription for being able to access the customer data. Don't forget the financial technology company, they didn't have to reinvent the wheel. So the bank has a repertoire of data, because you have customers. The bank has existed long before the emergence of all of these payment tech companies. So it has customers' data through the KYC. And so the bank is the warehouse of data. And so for any data requester from the bank, they will pay a subscription to the bank. So it becomes a new revenue model for the bank, and also reduce operational costs. It lowers costs due to automation and cloud adoption. So, like we said in the previous slide, so it optimizes the operations of the bank and reduces costs. And transaction-based fees increase digital transactions, leading to revenue growth. And now you can see also there's a new, what's it called, the new CBN regulation that has also increased what the banks can charge for customers to be able to make transactions across all of the digital platforms of the bank. That's also a revenue. And then also data monetization, leveraging customer insights for targeted marketing. That's also what they are through data analytics. That's able to happen because now there's insight into the customer behavior. Every time the customer interact with the bank, the customer leaves their footprint, their digital footprint, and that way the bank is able to gather insight into the customer. All right, so regulatory frameworks governing digital banking. So we have the central bank guidelines on licensing, payments, and cybersecurity. There's a data protection rule, the Nigerian Data Protection Regulation. You have the AML, the KYC, and the cybersecurity standards to be able to make sure that customers feel safe and that they're really safe and not exploited in that sense. Okay. All right, just a few examples here. We have a few examples here. InterSwitch, payment processing. They have the quick teller platform. So the impact is increased financial inclusion and seamless digital experience. Okay, these are just case studies here. So quickly, let's just look at some similarities and differences in mobile money and agent banking. So mobile money, digital financial services enabling transactions via mobile phone. So, and such example is transfer, payment, and saving. So with this one, you don't need an agent. All you need is your mobile phone for you to be able to complete a transaction, whether you're making a transfer or you're making a payment or you're saving. And so we see that in terms of mobile money, there are more players right now than just the banks, okay? So we have telecoms companies that are also playing there. We have examples in Nigeria. We have we have the Nine Mobile, PSB, that are also there. We have also the Momo from MTN, and so they use mobile wallets and all of that to be able to deliver their service. While agent banking is third-party agents. They are retailers, they are people who have shops, who have kiosks, who are offering basic banking services on behalf of the bank. So they can deposit money for you. If you go there, you want to put money in your account, you will give them the cash, and then they will make the necessary transfer from their own account in the bank to your own account, and then you are able to see that a transaction has happened and you have that money, and you also want to withdraw. They also use the POS to do the same transaction. So and their agent networks and POS devices and digital platforms. The importance of financial inclusion. Accessibility is there, and that's it makes it easier for people to be able to conduct banking services. Mobile money, agent banking, it's also affordable, and also it has a way of really making people feel empowered. It enables savings, loans, and economic participation. And I'll tell you that, and that's why if you check, most banks right now that understand this, they are building, and it's becoming their strongest point. Retail banking is becoming the new kid on the block, because that's really, really what retail banking is about. And retail banking is powered largely by technology. Okay, so key differences between mobile money and agent banking. The infrastructure is one. For mobile money, we say mobile network, digital wallets, and agents. For agent banking, we will have the physical agent, POS terminals, and what have you. I believe that these are resources that you can read on your own. And then, so let's move on. And technological innovation that is driving growth, mobile money, agent banking, whatever. Then USSD code for feature phones, biometric authentication, your fingerprint, and blockchain, especially for cross-border transfer, because blockchain technology is built on a distributed ledger system, and it promotes largely transparency in transaction and also real-time delivery of value when we involve blockchain. Then agent POS banking with real-time transaction, mobile apps, and what have you. Strategic partnership, mobile money. So the telco bank partnership. So you have MTN or Airtel or any of the other one, and money banks for and the banks for mobile money platform. And then we also have the Fintech. We call them Fintech, but largely they are paytechs that we have around Paga, Flutter with integrating with banks. Then agent banking, we have quite a number of them here, and it's government initiative. Okay, so in Nigeria, we have all of those examples of mobile money. So here, M-Pesa is Africa, is Kenya. So, and that's really where a lot of the other people learned mobile money from. So the challenges here is really still internet access. Internet access is still the biggest challenge that we have, and also compliance, regulatory compliance. And future trends for the delivery of digital financial services will be AI and blockchain integration into the transaction. And when that happens, especially blockchain integration, it reduces the incidence of cyber crime to the barest minimum, and also the expansion of cashless ecosystem post pandemic. All right. So impact of mobile money and agent banking on traditional banking model. So here we're saying part of the key disruption is reduced reliance on physical branches. And that is true, except what really has anything to do in the bank. You really don't want to come into a bank branch. So by extension, that has also reduced cost, so cost efficiency for the bank. And then also, the other thing is that it has created new competition. But the banks that are wise and intelligent, rather than get into a combative competition, they use collaboration right now as a competitive tool. Then also, there's also shift in revenue streams. Other areas where banks did not imagine that revenue could come before, revenue is now coming in those areas. And also, we are seeing partnerships where banks are partnering with mobile money providers and agents to be able to expand their reach. So the bank does not need to be in 700 locations, but it can have more than 700 agents. And by extension, it means the bank is in those places, right? And so the impact of mobile money and agent banking on customer engagement. So right now, there's a 24/7 accessibility. So if you wake up 2 a.m. in the night and remember that you need to do a bank transaction, you don't need to wait till 8 a.m. to get into the bank. Just grab your mobile device and you are having the experience of being able to make your bank transaction. Okay, so this, I've mentioned this before. So some of the challenges for traditional banks is technological gaps. Yeah, the technology migration to the digital transformation experience is different for the banks, and also the regulatory pressure is always there because of the, I would say the because the technology is, evolving so very fast. And so a lot of the time, even regulation is also really trying to run after the trends. And so the pressure is much in terms of regulatory pressure. So you find out that the regulatory institutions are always coming up with new regulations. And that's also because, of the increase in the trends and the things that happen. Another challenge is customer retention, because right now, the only loyalty that customers have is to themselves. And that's why banks to be able to retain customers, it's just much more than providing a service. It's creating a sense of community and then providing much more than the banking service to the customer, but providing a whole lot more to the customer, and also creating a reward system, because that's what enhances the community, that there's a reward for being part of this community. Then finally, future trends. So here we're talking about the hybrid models. So which means that banks will now be integrating mobile money and agent network into their core operation. It will no longer be on the side. Then also we have the AI and blockchain. Like I said, with the introduction of artificial intelligence and blockchain, it will increase a lot of transparency, especially in cross-border transaction, and also to be able to get a real-time value when transaction is made through that place. So we're saying blockchain will be a very powerful tool for remittance. Then the regulatory evolution. So there's going to be a more stricter KYC and AML. And why this will be is because of the unusual advancement of artificial intelligence. And these days, through artificial intelligence, there is a concept that is called deepfake. And now deepfake is real. Reels where a customer identity can be stolen. So both the face of a customer can be stolen, the voice of a customer can be stolen. And you will see that with that fake identity, transaction would have happened. And the bank would have assumed that it's the customer, but it was deep fake. So it's important that regulatory frameworks also continue to evolve, and also the technology must also continue to evolve to be able to arrest all of these issues that will emerge or that are already emerging with the advancement of technology. And finally, the cashless economy, which is really where we are now, and you will all agree with me that that was really accelerated because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So it became something that was really, really fast. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I've come to the end of the material, but here we can now begin to ask questions and look at areas where you would need more emphasis to be placed. While I'm expecting your messages in the chat or voice, let me just take a water break but I'm here.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
So please, if you have any question, please, you can raise up your hand, and as you said, you drop your question on the chat box or use vocal. So we're going to be speaking. Please raise up your hand so we can be according. So if you have any questions, just raise up your electronics and okay. Mr. Francis, I can see your hands up. can you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
All right. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Francis. Talking about question, I have a lot of questions to ask, but the fact remains that I'm still kind of an indoor member for now because I'm just joining this meeting today. And honestly, the pattern of the teaching is something that is very, very good. And me as a person, I'm an agent, an aggregator, a BMR of money points. So some of the teachings are something that are familiar. But if I should start asking questions, it's going to take a long time. I think I should just hold on and get rooted in what we are up to because I just joined the meeting from a friend of mine that gave me the link to join. So I don't know. And I saw somebody talking about exam. But let me ask few questions from what is being done today. The question there is the aspect of this mobile money banking and agency and the rest. And you made mention of another thing called traditional bank. Now, I would like to know more the difference between traditional bank, mobile money banking, and possibly all this agent banking. If there is a difference or the traditional bank is still supporting the agency banking and the rest. Then another thing is the aspect of protection for users' details in the aspect of fraud and the rest. This AI and blockchain, are they working hand in hand or blockchain is the initial one that is being using before AI was introduced, or and how does the two of them protect users from being scammed, fraud, and the rest?
Hello, sir. Yeah, that's his question, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I was yeah, so I'm even here. I was seeing I mean some charts here before me. Yeah, so I see a question here from well, it's not a question, a thought from Stella. And if you remember, that's why when I opened the transaction, I asked specifically, and but you did not respond to that. And now I see your question. But to Francis, if I get the name right, that asked the question. Okay, so traditional banking is what we is it's just a moment. I'm hearing a sound here that is distracting. Okay, so the traditional bank, when we talk about the traditional or the incumbents, they are that's your bank. The way we used to know the bank, First Bank, Union Bank, all the other banks we have back in the days without the use of technology. They are traditional banks. And I don't know how many of you on this call had experienced such of the traditional banks while growing up. I remember back then we used to have, there was a bank that was called Federal Savings Bank back in the days, and that became FSB International Bank, you know. And so back in the days, when you go to the bank to deposit money, you would have a card like this card that these thrift collectors, local thrift collectors, they give to people who pay daily contribution. That's the kind of card we were given then. So you will have your card, you will take money to the bank, you will write the amount of money, you will write the date, you will sign on your card. And when you get to the bank, the teller will also count the money. They will ask you to put it, register it in the bank ledger. The teller will sign the bank ledger and also sign your own passbook. That's what it was called, passbook. So that is traditional banking. And now we're now saying with digital banking, whether mobile or internet banking, we're now saying that all of those banking services are now being delivered through the use of technology. So whether it's internet banking or mobile banking, which means that you're using your phone, that's mobile banking, to still save your money in an account, okay, or transfer or do whatever you want to do with your money. So that's what it is, the difference between all of that. And then also you were talking about the security. So blockchain is built on what we call the DLT, the distributed ledger technology. And so it's also the same technology that cryptocurrency is also built around. So one thing about it is that it is transparent because of its decentralized nature. Now, a very good example that I can give you, if any of you is conversant with the game of Scrabble, you know, this game that teaches you how to improve your English. So if you are conversant with the game of Scrabble, you will realize that when we are playing Scrabble, everyone playing, if you are 3 or 4, everyone has a copy of the scores of everyone. So if 5 of us are playing, 5 of us have a different ledger where we are all recording the scores that everybody is scoring. Because the danger is that if we leave one person who is also playing with us to be the one recording the scores, if he scores 25, he can write 35 for himself. But if all of us have a copy and we are writing what anybody now scores, at the end of the game, we can compare the notes. What we have done is to distribute the ledger. So that's what makes blockchain a very powerful tool for financial transparency. So that means everyone see what's happening because it's a decentralized system, and it is, and because of blockchain, the blockchain technology also makes it very difficult. Excuse me, not totally impossible, but extremely difficult for transaction records to be altered. So that means if you are sending a particular amount of money, that's what will be there. Nobody can doctor it. It is very difficult for it to be doctored. So it brings a lot of protection in terms of being able to secure the transaction of the customer. I see a hand. Aremu, please. Please, you have the floor. Please, you have the floor. Francis, are you okay with my response? I saw you try to unmute yourself now. Hello, Francis.
I think he got disconnected. He's no more on the call again.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Yes, we're calling Aremu Adewale, but he's not speaking. All right.
So, are there anyone else with other questions? Is when Mr.
I think that's what will really help if people ask questions based on their area of
okay, sir.
concern.
I think it's only Mr. Aremu Adewale that is up and he's not ready to speak yet.
Yes, he's not responding.
Okay, sir. Sir.
Okay, Mr. Francis is back.
I'm finding where to raise my hand. I'm not.
Okay, so Francis is back. After Francis, Stella, please, you can just unmute. After Francis is done.
Okay, sir. I wanted to ask a question about the
first one you asked. Well, are you okay?
Yeah, very much okay. But I don't want to stress you much because I was signaled that this tutorial is for those writing second batch exam, and I'm just joining today. So I think I should Yeah, I
Okay.
think I should leave the questions for now so
Okay.
that the
Thank
people
you.
that are facing the second
Thank you.
design can take up with it.
Okay, Stella, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Thank you so
afternoon.
much for the, don't mind me. Thank you so much for, I enjoyed the class I'm following. But I'm recalling the last foundation we wrote. Today was very, very helpful. That when we went to the exam, in fact, it was everything we read just got replayed. I know we may have gone through the question papers. I was thinking like today is just to go through the papers and all those things again. Like when we get to the exam again, we just like as if we're in the dream and click all those things again and move. All these explanations, we have gone through them, but like all those questions, the last time it helped to, I don't know how this time will be like, but that is just my own.
And
Thank
that's
you.
why we called him. So to give us a breakdown of the course subject, man. That's because some said they've read, they don't really understand. So I had to call facilitators to give us a breakdown of the study pack. So after you've gone through the study pack, then they come in and make it more explanatory and simpler. And if you don't understand, I will share the recordings on the WhatsApp platform so you can listen again.
Okay. All right. Wow, there's so much quiet room here. It looks like everybody really is ready for the exam. There's no question. There's no, as you read, there was something that you didn't, you want more. Yes, Emmanuel, thank you.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Sir, please help us with the recording version of the classes so that some of us can go through them again. I think that
Yeah, I
will
will
be
share
okay.
that. I've said it before. I will share that after
So
the
that's
class.
what was just said now,
I
that you
will
will
share
get.
it after the whole class.
I get exam.
Okay. So since people are not asking, am I Israel? Am I free to call people randomly to ask questions?
You can't, sir.
Because I see some very powerful people here, but they are quiet on me.
Okay, sir. Mr.
Okay,
Dewale has sent a comment, a chat.
yeah. So he said the question of Mr. Adewale is there any relationship between chatbots and ATM? Not really. No, no. Okay, so your ATM, that's your automated teller machine where you can make largely your cash transaction, right? And that is a physical infrastructure that is in the bank or in any other places that the bank might deploy the automated teller machine. So with the machine, you can withdraw. And some machines also, a few of them accept deposit. So you can deposit money. You can on the ATM, the ATM, you can also do a transfer. And some of them also are cardless. So so that is the ATM. While the chatbot, so let me put it for you. That word chatbot is actually two words combined. It means your chat robot. Chat robot. But for easy case sake, you hear it called chatbot because robots are also usually called bot, B-O-T. So chatbot is what is your, I would say, is your virtual assistant. Is a virtual assistant that the bank deploys when you visit the website of the bank. So as soon as you visit the website of the bank, immediately you will see a dialog box will open up, right? And that dialog box is what is called the chat box. So it is there as a virtual assistant to ask you, how would you, what would you want me to do for you today? Or what do you want to do? Because for you to visit the website of the bank, it means that there is something you want to do. So it will automatically pop up. That's how it is programmed. It is a pop-up application. It will pop up on the screen and then it will ask you. Then you can start putting your concern inside it. And it can start responding to you by asking you to now say, so it can give you option. If you say, oh, I want to resolve a transaction issue, for example, and you enter, then it will now give you options. Oh, transaction issue. It will give you option of, is it a card error? Is it a this? It will give you 4, 5, 6 options. You will click the option that relates to what you want to do. It will give you a response, and sometimes this response will also be another set of options so that it can get to the root of your problem. And when it gets to the point where it can no longer help you as a virtual assistant, it will now tell you to hold up, that it will transfer you to a human agent that will continue the transaction with you. And you see, why the banks does this is one, it's part of also cost efficiency, so that we don't deploy too many human agents doing routine things that a robot can do. So that's what it does. They are so different. Aremu, are you good? Does this help? Please, I'd like to get your response. Okay. While Aremu is planning to respond, there's a question here.
Yes, we are with you.
Go on, sir.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody was saying something. There's a question here by Olajide about cloud computing, the pros and the cons, and blockchain. Okay, so cloud computing. Now, this is where is the migration really of mostly the infrastructure of the bank, all the support of the bank. I'll tell you one of them, which is making it easier for bank transactions to go through immediately. I'll tell you what that is, the cloud computing, where there's no more need to have physical data center. Okay, now the bank can have his infrastructure in the cloud, which means there is no, the advantages here is that there is no limitation that, oh, because we don't have our data center close to a branch, that's why the network is fluctuating. If you remember, before cloud computing, that is what we used to have as an experience. And so you now find out that the bank now spends a lot of money trying to build physical data centers around the country, so that branches within maybe 500, 1,000 meters around, or 2,000, can still be able to connect. But with cloud computing, it is in the cloud, just like the name. It is delivered via satellite. So it means that the bank infrastructure can be accessed in the cloud, so that wherever the branch of the bank is, they can have easy access. So to put it in a simple technical terms, cloud computing is using a network of remote servers that are hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process data, rather than having a local server. So that's the and so you're talking about the pros. Yes, there is advantages is a lot more than its disadvantages. Okay, so one of the biggest disadvantages of it might be um, it might be that the exposure is to if the cybersecurity of the provider is compromised, it might compromise the bank data. So that's one. And then okay, you also talked about blockchain. So I said blockchain technology. I said that it is built on what we call the distributed ledger technology. And I use that example of a chess game where everybody has the record of the transaction so that nobody can claim that, no, it was 30 or it's not 20. Everybody has the record. So what does it do? It increases transparency. It increases the transparency of what happens. I see. Okay. Okay. So just a moment. Israel, please let me just ask you something.
We can't hear anything again now. I will see that, please. I think he's out. He has been logged out or something. Network, I think.
So for Mr. Ibrahim asking for practice questions. So after every study pack, there is some questions at the end of the study pack with the answers. You understand? And the answers are in italic form. So if everything is written in the normal text, the answer is different from the other. So out of 4 options, A, B, C, maybe A, B, C are wrong to be normal. Then see if D is correct. D will be in an italic form. It's slant. So after check the study pack, at the end of the study packs, there are practice questions there. So I think that's the answer for Mr. Ibrahim.
Okay, and Stella too was asking. So I have some questions here on the study pack, and if you look at it, so they are pretty. A lot of the things that we have talked about today are on some of these questions here that are practice questions. So I'm here on your study pack. Now there's a question here that says, what is one of the primary components of digital banking? The answer also comes, at the end, like Mr. Israel has said. So that's why I was asking you, apart from these questions that you have, that is on your study pack, is there something specifically that you want to ask that you think, based on the studies you have done, that you are not clear on? It makes it easier for us to now respond to those questions and answer you rather than saying I have questions. Oh, these are, because there are questions on at the end of each of the chapter or module of your study packs. And so, and they give you an idea of how the questions will be. So, and for those also still talking about cloud computing, you'll see that there are key features of it. It really is cost effective for the bank, very cost effective, and the level of security for cloud computing is also a lot more higher than if the bank is having a local server to keep the customer's data or the transaction, apart from the limitation of access. Because you remember back in the days before cloud computing, there's usually a lot of network problem. It will just be, even in the bank, you enter the bank and you'll be there for a long time because you'll be told that there is no network now. Okay, so I'm seeing all of your questions here, and they are all also with options. I mean, they come with solutions for you. I feel strongly that if you read the material with the review that we've done today, you are good to handle the exam. So, and some of the things that could easily confuse you are that you need to be conversant with some of the key components of mobile money. So we're talking about mobile wallet. So you can get something like that: a mobile wallet, mobile payment, money transfer, agent network, financial inclusion. So those things are things you should know. Mobile wallet is that a user can create a digital wallet linked to their mobile phone number, allowing them to store or manage their funds securely. And I gave you examples. So I'll tell you, I use Chowdeck. Chowdeck is a food application. On Chowdeck, when I was opening Chowdeck, I also I included my bank card details so that I can now transfer money from my card into the mobile wallet. Does not mean I'm buying food now. So the mobile wallet is that temporary storage that keeps my money until I have a need to spend. Okay, so that is there. The mobile payment is that users can make payment for goods and services directly from their mobile wallet, right, or mobile phone, or from your app, mobile application, or through USSD codes. You can make payment. So then money transfer, mobile money enables users to send and receive money to and from other people. So these are some of the things. Then we also look at the evolution of mobile money, where it started from. It's very important for us to look at that also. And the most significant milestone of the evolution of mobile money, I told us, it started in 2007 in Kenya by a telecoms company known as Safaricom that introduced what is known as M-Pesa. And M-Pesa is a mobile money platform that is used for all kinds of services. So in Kenya, it is used by everyone. When I mean everyone. Newspaper vendor collects money using M-Pesa. If you shine your shoe on the roadside, you don't have cash, you can pay for it with your M-Pesa. Whatever you do, you can buy your insurance with M-Pesa. You can enter into a restaurant and you use M-Pesa to pay. That's how widely acceptable and widely adopted the process is. Okay, so at the top of my head, I'm just looking at some of the things that could give you concern, and some of the things that you should also I think you should also concentrate on is to look at the case studies in terms of the digital adoption, the ones we have, the role of the central bank in really being the one that is behind the financial inclusion. It was a central bank initiative that drove it, and I think that was also in 2000 and it started 2007 or so, and then the all of the initiative, the SANEF initiative, I told us earlier that it was the initiative of the CBN, NIBS, and the DMOs, and they came up with it, and that's really so that there can be a wide coverage of agent banking, because agency banking really is the way to go. It's cost effective for the bank. You don't have to open a branch, because the cost of opening a branch is a lot, and it's not every branch that is profitable. So agency banking became something that the banks really adopted when it came, and it was also made possible, like we said, by technology, largely the open banking technology that is leveraging largely the application programming interface, APIs. Olajide, that's an interesting perspective that you have brought in now to talk about the environmental impact of cloud computing. That's an interesting perspective. Yeah, so it has a bit of it. It has a bit of it because of the energy intensive data center that powers it. So it does have some level of carbon emission and generation of electronic waste. It has, but I believe that as we go along, we'll begin to find solutions that can help us to mitigate the impact of it on the environment. But it has some level of impact. You know, just like our aeroplanes, they still have it, but then so it's an evolving technology. Hopefully, we'll be able to solve that problem. Olajide.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so it looks like there are no more questions here. So I was just going around looking at areas on your study park to see the areas where you might likely be having need, for me to make more, to speak more to it. Okay, so Israel, I think I'm done from here. If there are no more questions for me.
All right, sir. I would like to thank you very much, sir, for your time and for this very interesting session, sir. I say thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, everyone, and I want to wish you all the best as you sit for your exam. I believe that you have prepared, and I wish you all the best. Usually, exam fever sometimes affect people, and it's not because you don't know it, but you get agitated. So take a deep breath, drink water. You are okay. You'll be good. And I look forward to hearing great results from this class.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Really
Thank you,
appreciate
sir.
it. Okay, I would like to say thank you to everyone who joined the class. So thank you very much for your time. And I know you had a busy schedule yesterday, today, going to church and your weekend plans. So I'd like to say thank you very much. And I'll say best of luck to you on your exam. So I think some people are getting this wrong. So just a brief announcement. So 4 o'clock, what's happening for is like a demo test. It's not the exam actually. So Cyber is trying to check everybody's system. So you test your system is compatible with the Telview secure browser or not. So if you test by 4 o'clock, you have any issues, you can trash the whole issues today. Tomorrow will be Monday before Tuesday the exam. Instead of like where it was last year, that was that exam day.
That
Some
was
people
that
just
exam.
some people just installing one or two. So that like seven like able to install today,
To install.
test everything you are doing, and 4 o'clock we all test just one or two questions, random questions, not like something hard. And you can do it anywhere. So it's not necessarily your office. You can do some people want to do in the office. You can do it your room. Just check if your STEM is enough, comfortable enough to do the exam on Tuesday. And one other thing. So from 9 to 11 or 11:30, 12 is for the foundation level. The intermediate level exam is in the afternoon. That's from 2 o'clock. So if you are doing intermediate, don't come 9 o'clock for exam. The portal for intermediate level won't be open by 9 o'clock in the morning. It will be open 2 in the afternoon. So intermediate is in the afternoon while foundation is in the morning.
Noted.
Okay, Mr. Laya, I answer a question. Sir, please, there a
Can I
module with
It's
questions without
noted. It's not.
answer. I don't know. There's answers in the study packs, and if no answer, it can I don't. How will you solve the question or know if the question is correct? So there's answer with the whatever. So please, I will on the WhatsApp group. I will drop a
Hello,
documentation on
sir.
how to. Sorry, please hold on. Sorry, I'll drop a documentation on the WhatsApp group on how to install. So those that have not installed the TFU browser, so the one you used last year, please uninstall it. Because now they said yesterday, they said you should uninstall it and install a new one. So on the
Okay, so the one we used last year, we should uninstall it.
yes, so it won't have issues.
Oh,
And now last year people had issues with network and so on. So they've updated the browser. So
new
there's a new
version.
link.
Okay.
So I will share everything on the group.
Okay.
So the step by step how
All
to
right.
do it. So you see the demo test link there, the exam link. The exam link is also on your docket. So please print your docket. You
Mr.
understand?
Israel. Mr. Israel.
Yes, ma.
Yeah, good day. My name is Justina.
Okay, ma.
Yeah. Please, I think we still need to still stress on the issue of people re-practicing this the test, because as at yesterday, I noticed that some of the people that did for last year, I'm
Yes.
sure some of them didn't really participate for that yesterday's meeting on how to run the test and all that. Then aside that, the area where the network covers, because there's some area like now in my house, there's a place where there's no network. There's a place where there is a network. There's a place where Airtel can, you can really enjoy the network seamlessly. So we need to stress on that for those that will be writing this exam that is coming up
Okay.
now.
Okay,
So we need
now.
to stress on it, because right now some of them didn't. I'm sure some people will still go and install on that day. That's when they will have to now uninstall. You can imagine now some people don't know that you have to uninstall before you now install that secure browser. So I think we
Exactly.
need to still stress it for them, because right, I was even trying to see if you want to measure how many people are writing this current intermediate exam or foundation exam as at this moment.
This intermediate,
Some people
no.
register, but they are trying to shift it because they feel they are not really prepared. So essentially, I think we need to stress on this
Okay. For that
issue so that
networking issue,
you
I don't
avert
think
failures or
okay,
you
I
know.
don't think we'll have that network issue like last year. So now, if how do I put it? By your when you open the browser, like when you're doing exam, your right bottom, your bottom right corner, there's a signal there. Either it on green or a red. So last year, when it turns red, it takes you offline. So now
Yeah.
you have to watch it. If it's red, it won't log you out. So, but before you submit everything, check if it's green or red. So if it's green, you can submit. If it's red, you can change the network. So like where the man said, he said you can have two network on. You understand? So I don't think there'll be network issue this time. And before you start the exam, you can check your network speed. The one I use is fast.com, fast.com. So you must not have anything less than 10 Mbps. That would be a good network. So any network that is good here, right? Be it Glo, be it Airtel, be it Etela, be it MTN, just choose the best network in area. And if you can have
Before then.
multiple hotspots to on both of them, so you can switch at the middle top bar of the browser.
Okay, so I'll chat you up later on.
All right.
After the exam. I was the one that actually introduced someone that just came in, Francis.
Yeah, you said
So he
so. You
could
said
also,
so.
yeah. So maybe later I will tell him more about this,
Okay.
my ABC.
So
Hello, sir.
All right,
yes.
it's a
Hello,
pleasure.
Mr. Israel.
Okay, Mr. Lajide.
Mr. Israel,
Sir.
please, this intermediate course, entrepreneurship and innovation,
Okay,
there
sir.
are questions there, but there are no action and no answers. That's
No
the one that
answers.
I'm referring to.
Okay, let me get back to you on that. I will check on the writer
Okay.
and ask them. I sent to the group again. Sorry about that. So I will send the
Okay.
documentation on the WhatsApp group.
All right,
Please
sir.
read through it.
Thank
Because I know
you.
some people don't read anything I send. They just open, close. Please read through it. It's a step by step on how to install it. So uninstall the one you have used last year. Install a new one. Then use the test link, not the exam link. Because suppose and don't when you use this test link, is your email and any random password. Don't use your membership number or your exam number on it. Like you tell you error. Just use your Gmail and just answer one, two questions. Just know if your step is compatible. So if your step can work perfectly fine today, I don't think anything will make it not work on Tuesday and Wednesday. And I pray our village people not follow us on that deal. So I'd like to say thank you. Happy weekend.
Thank you
Thank you.
very, very much, sir.
Hello, sir.
God bless
Thank
you.
you, sir. Hello.
Yes,
Good
sir.
afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, so sorry, I just want to confirm. You know what the information you gave around the about the 4 p.m. Is it compulsory for everybody to run it at 4
Yes,
p.m.?
yes, please. It's compulsory. Anywhere
Probably.
you are, be it in your
Hello.
room, be it your office, but anywhere you just log in and do it and let's sort everything out. Because on Tuesday, many people may not be to answer the questions. So let us trash it. If you have any issue, let us trash it out today. And if something I can't attend to today, I will complain in CIB office tomorrow and we'll set everything out before the exam day on Tuesday. That's what Cyber is trying to do. So the calling stress on Tuesday will not be much. Do you understand?
If
All
if
right.
you delete Mr. Israel,
Emma,
hello sir.
yeah, I can hear you, ma.
Are you hearing me, sir?
Yes, yeah, I can hear you.
If you delete the secure browser on my dashboard on my desktop,
Yes, ma.
I'm not seeing on link. I'm seeing delete. I delete has it automatically gone out of my system?
If you can't see it, tell people, that means it's not on system
Eh?
already then. So just install a new one.
Because this very one of the present one of this year, I did it yesterday after while the meeting was going on, and
Okay.
I was able to do the test practice.
Okay.
So I don't know if what I have on my desktop here is this still the one of last year, but I know I installed the one of this year yesterday.
And that's the
I don't
current
know
one.
if it
That's the
has
current one. If
updated.
you installed yesterday, that's the current one you installed
Okay,
already.
okay,
All right.
okay.
So